Okay, let's talk about information. We are just swimming in this massive ocean of it every single day, right? From news headlines to social media, it is, well, it's a lot. Today we're going to build a personal toolkit, something you can use to navigate all that noise and figure out what's actually credible.
You know the feeling. A crazy headline pops up on your phone, or a friend shares some wild claim. And for a second, you're not sure what to think. Is this real? Is it not? How do you even begin to decide if something is true? That's the big question we're going to tackle. So here's the game plan. We'll start by setting the stage, talk about this information flood we're in. Then we'll get into what credibility even means. After that, we're building a super practical checklist you can start using right away. And of course, we've got to talk about spotting bias, telling facts from opinions, and the different kinds of sources out there. And then we bring it all together.
So let's just dive right in. Look, living in the digital age is kind of like having a superpower. We've got more knowledge at our fingertips than any other time in history. But, and this is a big but, it also means that bad information, misinformation, can spread like wildfire.
And that's why this is so important. We just can't be passive sponges for information anymore. The number one skill we all need now is the ability to just pause, to evaluate what we're seeing, and only then decide if we should believe it. It's all about becoming an active, critical thinker. Seriously, it's a game changer. Okay, so if the problem is this flood of unreliable info, what's the fix? Well, it all starts with understanding what makes a source trustworthy in the first place. So let's really break down what we mean by credible. At its core, credibility is pretty simple. It's about trust. Can you rely on this? Can you trust it? But here's the thing. That trust isn't just a gut feeling. It's got to be built on three solid pillars: cold, hard evidence, real, actual expertise, and trying to be as objective as possible.
So how do you actually spot those pillars out in the real world? Well, you look for some key signals. A good source tells you who wrote it and why they're qualified to talk about it. Their arguments are built on evidence, not just feelings. They'll show their work, by referencing other research. And they'll try to present the info in a balanced way. And hey, don't be afraid to do a quick search if that stuff isn't obvious right away.
And look, this isn't just my opinion. It's a fundamental part of critical thinking. As the researcher Alec Fisher put it, you have to do this careful evaluation. It's this whole process of checking if the information is not just there, but if it's valid and if it's actually backed up by proof. It all comes back to what we were just saying. It's all about finding that evidence.
All right, time for the really practical stuff. This is the first big tool for our toolkit. Let's build a simple step-by-step guide you can pull out anytime you come across something new and you're thinking, should I trust this?
Just think of it like a quick 3-step background check. Step 1. Who made this? Is it a person, a group? Are they hiding their name? Step 2. What's their deal? Are they actually an expert on this topic or just some random person with an opinion? And Step 3. Who published it? A climate change article from a scientist on the NASA website carries a little more weight than, say, a random blog post, right? Okay, so even if you've got an expert author and a top-notch publisher, there's still another layer we need to peel back. Because, let's be real, no source is ever 100% neutral. So the next tool we need is one that helps us uncover bias in opinion. And these biases, they pop up everywhere. Political bias can totally change the feel of a news story. Commercial bias is why you should always be a little skeptical of a study, say, funded by a soda company that, surprise, surprise, finds that soda is totally healthy. The goal isn't to find something with zero bias. That's basically impossible. The goal is to see the bias, to be aware of it, so you can factor it in. And as Butterworth and Thwaites point out here, this is absolutely essential. Spotting bias isn't about throwing the information away. No, it's about understanding the context behind it. It lets you see how someone's point of view might be shaping the story you're getting. And that is so important for everything from what you read in the news to how you make decisions about your money or your health. And this brings us to another key skill: separating facts from opinions. A fact, like Malaysia's population, is something you can go and check. You can verify it. An opinion, like whether it's the best country, well, that's a judgment call. You can't prove it. So here's the bottom line. Strong sources are built on a foundation of facts, and when they do share an opinion, they're usually pretty clear about it. All right, we're at the last major piece of our evaluation puzzle, and this one's a biggie, because, well, not all sources are created equal. Let's talk about the huge difference between academic and non-academic sources. So on one side, you've got your academic sources. We're talking peer-reviewed journals, university books, that kind of thing. What makes them so powerful is that other experts have already checked their work before it ever got published. Then on the other side, you've got everything else. Blogs, social media, magazines. Now, they can be great, and often they're more up-to-date, but they just don't have that same tough review process. So when you're looking at a non-academic source, the burden of proof is really on you to use that checklist we talked about.
So there you have it. We've defined credibility, we've built a checklist, we've learned how to spot bias and tell different sources apart. When you put all of these skills together, you're not just doing a school assignment. You're unlocking a real-life superpower. And that superpower is critical thinking.
And this isn't just some abstract idea. This stuff matters. It helps you dodge misinformation. It helps you make better decisions about, well, everything. Your health, your finances, how you vote. It could be the thing that helps you spot a fake news story about a candidate you like, or a scammy email promising a crazy investment. It helps you make better arguments, and ultimately, it makes you a smarter, more responsible citizen in this wild digital world.
So this toolkit, it's all yours now. You have the framework to question things, to investigate, and to see the world just a little bit more clearly. So my only question for you is this. What's the first thing you're going to challenge? What headline, what post, what claim are you going to put to the test?